just 11. They're in pretty good shape, aren't they? Leading ATK here by 2-0 at the break. ATK are going to make a couple of substitutions. Unsurprisingly, I think the Spaniard Edu Garcia is coming on. Sumit Ratti is going off, and also I believe Susiraj is coming on to start the second half. So a double switch here made by Habas. Unsurprising.
Well, I'm glad to see that, though. I mean, this is what we want to see. At least Habas is going to go for it. He'll bring on two very attacking changes, Edu Garcia and Susiraj. So definitely can look forward to ATK trying to get back into this game, because I think just looking at that expression on Senor Habas's face, he'll want to go into the semi-final, the first leg, with a little bit of confidence, not coming off of a heavy defeat. And he's probably wondering, how do I get back into this team?
I think you were also conjecturing at half-time about whether Dimas would stay on and run the risk of getting a yellow. The answer is no, he won't stay on. Suresh is coming on to replace Dimas Delgado for the second half as well, I understand. So we just got a shot of Sunil Chetri there. He's very relaxed tonight, isn't he? His team's winning the game. But anyway, anything can happen in the next 45 minutes. Enjoy with us the rest of Bengaluru against ATK. It's funny to think that this is ATK's best ever points total in an ISL season, and Bengaluru's worst ever, because of course they finished top of the table on both previous occasions in which they've been members of this league. Freighter and Dimas on the score sheet for the home side.
Well, I don't think either of these teams will be too concerned about their points tally at the end of the season, or the end of tonight. What will concern them the most is what happens on the 14th of March. And only one of these two will probably be there by the looks of it.
Yeah, looks as though they could well be meeting again on the first day of the next month, which is not far away now. Where are we, 22nd today? Backward header from Saran here to his goalkeeper.
He's another one that's on 3 yellow cards, Albert Saran.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point we'll see him coming off. They could make changes without having to take players off. I think Gursimran's on the field, so they could just slot him into that centre-back position.
Well, it's a gamble that Carlos Quadrat will have considered. He did say, as I say, before the start of this match, that he was likely to make 7 changes at least, or bring in 7 relatively raw players. I mean, they're not all raw. Okay, the goalkeeper's just 19, Keema's 22, Gursimran's 22, Parag Srivas is 22 as well. And then, of course, we've got the young boy Leon at 21, who laid on the goal. Did well, didn't he?
You've been learning from Mauricio Mondal on the puns.
ATK's first attack of the half with Jajrani. Slips it almost between the referee's legs there. And then played out wide by Williams, but Keema in the way. Good chance for Keema tonight as well, the 22-year-old who was signed on a 2-year deal at the start of the season. We always say that 2 halves are never the same, and so don't expect this half to be anything like the first half, as Edu Garcia is involved here, tries to create a shooting opportunity for himself, and it required the save as well. Bamsukan down to his right, does the job.
This is what he was brought on for. His ability to just find space between the lines and get his shots off, and we've seen him score some crucial goals at the start of the season, and most of them coming on as a sub.
Yeah, got his most recent one in the 3-0 victory at Jamshedpur, when Mr. Krishna was on form that night. A lovely move between the two of them that produced that goal. And here they are, looking to halve the deficit right at the onset of this second half, and it will be an Edu Garcia corner, which could have gone absolutely anywhere, but is gratefully grabbed by the young goalkeeper. He'll be happy with his contribution so far tonight.
Yeah, just a little nervy start with that one, which he flapped at from Krishna's cross, but since then, he's settled down.
Yeah, you can be lucky or unlucky as a goalkeeper, can't you? Yeah, we've been talking about Dimas. You may spot him still there, the ponytail player in the middle of your picture there, but we understand he is going to come off any second now. They were almost effected it at half-time. Krishna's pass here, stooping header away. much stronger start to the half from ATK, isn't it, than it was to the first, to the beginning of the match. With Edu Garcia, experienced player, involved heavily already. Here he is on the ball again. 3 touches in this movement. Williams can't control it though. Just a question when they bring Dimas off, isn't it really? But the intimation is that he will be coming off very shortly.
Yeah, and a couple of these lads might be coming on for ATK as well.
I don't understand in a situation like that. If they're going to make the change, the substitution, why not do it at half time? Wait. Why wait 5 minutes? Anyway, here's Freighter. He's on for a second goal. He's hit the target. He's hit the goalkeeper.
Maybe just some last minute instructions for Suresh. You just see the confidence, the difference a goal brings. Freighter sort of is almost anonymous in the first half, and until he popped up with the goal, and then all of a sudden he's in the thick of the action.
Well, Onwu's a bit typical of that to Disha, isn't he? You haven't seen a lot of him, and of course he was released by Bengaluru. Oops, there's a lapse in defence, gives an opportunity for the home side again. And then Onwu suddenly got a goal, and he cannot stop scoring now. He's got 4 in 3 games for Odisha. We'll see him tomorrow against Kerala Blasters. The campaign coming to a close for those two.
I think sometimes as a striker you're only as good as the service that you're provided, and I think Onwu was starved of that in the early part of the season.
Johnson makes sure this doesn't get as far as Freighter.
That was nicely done from Salam Ranjan. Calm, brought it down and composed defending.
Pritam Kotel with the pass, accepted by Michael Regin, or Regin Michael as it says on the shirt, and Susiraj Michael, his brother. Oh, here's a run between the defenders. Oh, now he's gone down. This is a card. That is a card for sure for the young man. He knew it as well. Simrat walks away.
This is what he's been brought on for taking on players. You almost just, sometimes as coaches, you put cones or poles and you ask players to sort of dribble in and out of them, slalom in and out, and that's exactly what Susiraj has done.
Well, it was Kima initially, wasn't it? He had his arm across, and then Gersimrad went absolutely sure that he was the one who was going to pick up the card.
And that's the second time the two of them have double teamed to bring someone down, and last time it almost cost them a goal.
So here we have the change. The scorer of the night's first goal, Dimas Delgado, has given way. Let's have another look at it. We'll see it again at the close of the programme, I'm sure. That's his happiest moment of the season in terms of free kick taking. And replaced by a good young player, 19-year-old Suresh Wanjam. Just as another free kick opportunity occurs. Now, can this make almost the identical position, isn't it? It's absolutely on the same blade of grass that Dimas scored from. What Dimas did, Edu Garcia can't quite do, but he's gone for the other side of the goal.
Gone for the other side, and differently, their wall was intact.
Ooh, a few oohs around as the giant screen shows just how close that was from Edu.
Interesting technique of Edu Garcia. If he is going for that far post, it's actually swerved away.
It did. Johnson, downward header. Great timing for John Johnson to come back, isn't it, just before the playoffs. Ooh, there's another skirmish here and another free kick, but this isn't seen as a bad foul by Freighter. It's going to be a free kick, however.
I always wonder how bad a challenge is when a player rolls around that much. It's obviously not going to make it any better by rolling on if it is an injured ankle, by rolling 5 times over it.
Yeah, you're going to make it worse, aren't you? Yeah, what's going on in the head? 2-0, Bengaluru lead. Of course, they've not won either of their last 2 games against Kerala or Chennai, so they're wanting to break that trend. And no one better to do it against than ATK, so far as they're concerned. Slipped down the line by Cabra, and then Nili. Cabra going for goal. That would be unique almost.
Cabra with a left-footed strike from outside the box, that would be a collector's item.
He's never scored in over 80 appearances, in fact over 90 including substitute appearances.
Which is why he probably shouldn't be shooting with his left foot from that distance.
Easily cleared by Juanan. I think Williams will be absolutely itching to get a decent delivery inside the penalty area. Goal scorers, that's what they dream about at night, isn't it? But he's had very little to feed off so far tonight. Sushi Raj involved for the first time, and then the keeper will come and will gather. Chai Shirani.
I just saw when Susiraj picked up the ball and Regin was there, he could have played a pass to him, and vice versa earlier with Regin. It's almost like a little bit of sibling rivalry. They're not passing to one another. We've got another brothers on the other side with Prabhsukan and Gursimrat.
Good ball control. And eventually Freitas does lay it back, but the move peters out on Eder Garcia. He looks keen, doesn't he? Keen to get his side back into this contest. Krishna's come a long way back here to help out as well. And sets off from way inside his own half. They want him up near the penalty area. Salam. Well, that one certainly didn't work out. The only good thing about it is he's right by the corner flag, which is never an easy place to take a throw in. For a defending side. He's actually stolen a couple of feet as well here.
I was just about to say that, you know, whenever there's a throw in so close to the corner flag, the assistant referees almost always let them steal about 5 to 10 yards.
Yeah, why? I don't understand that either. Might be a tiny little point. It would be really interesting if ATK did get the next goal, because I'm sure Habas doesn't want to get beaten here. As you mentioned at half time, they certainly don't want to get beaten by cricket score. Not bad, the idea was good. Krishna puts his hands up, he acknowledges that it was a good service, fractionally out. He's a good build, isn't he, Nearly? This was the ball again a moment or two ago from Williams, just too far ahead of his strike partner.
I think you could almost see the mindset of the coaches now. Playing a Saran and Juanan, it's together. You get that, you know, like we talk about strike partnership. You talk about a defensive pairing getting accustomed to playing with one another and being set, as well as them learning how to play against Krishna and Williams, because in the semi-finals, no doubt you'll be coming up against these two again.
Yeah, Krishna perhaps not as many touches as usual tonight in the opposition half. He's got one now. He's going the wrong way again.
Just there looking at Krishna's body language at the bottom of our screen. Once he's played that ball, he's not really busting a gut to get into the box. He's almost playing within himself today.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair comment, actually. That's not a criticism. It's in the mindset. Whereas Williams, I think this showed a bit of zest, and he is determined to get more involved. He's getting himself back up to speed, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see even Williams now chasing back on this ball. You can absolutely right. I think he's working his way back into full fitness and showing that he is ready for starting.
Leon figuring here twice in this move. I think he'll be encouraged by his start. Oh, a keeper there almost got himself into trouble, and Freitas nearly punishes Dhiraj. Very nearly.
This is the difference Freitas just showing. Look, he's just encouraging his team to catch up, and notices that the keeper's taken an extra touch, and very unlucky not to probably get a second goal.
I could have added to the catalogue of the week, couldn't it? Anyway, he's got away with it. Johnson, a craggy defender, seeking out Krishna, not able to find him. So they haven't really played much together with Johnson's inactivity during the course of the season. Horrible to miss an entire season, isn't it? And coming in for your first start in the last game. But at least with the playoffs beckoning, he might feature.
But I think that just shows the strength and depth that this ATK squad have. You could afford to have a player like Johnson missing a large part of the season and still be comfortably in the playoffs.
Almost a very good ball from Edu Garcia for Pritam Kotal. Leon Augustin on his first start here, apart from one in the AFC Cup, 1 assist and a couple of chances created.
It's pretty impressive. That's first start, and he's got the same stats as another Kerala boy from Bengaluru. As we have another look at that chance, which Freighter created himself.
Yes, he did. Dheeraj would have been horrified if that had have ended up in the net. There was no foul on him.
Absolutely not. He just dwelled on the ball a bit too long, but you know, you look at Ashik's stats for the season, no goals and 1 assist.
Fraser's committed a couple of fouls in this half, involved in the latest skirmish there, and ATK on the move forward, just trying to get Williams into a shooting position. The next goal is going to be interesting. If Bengaluru score it, it's game, set and match. If ATK get it, then it's game on again. All the way back to Dheeraj. He has figured in an India senior squad in a World Cup qualifier against Afghanistan. All goalkeepers need to work on their footwork.
I think he's just a little bit rattled by that mistake in the first half, which led to the goal, and then obviously now the start of the second half a little bit unconvincingly.
Well, he seemed to stop there, or he seemed to stand still as though the ball had gone out, or they all thought it had, and it hadn't. Krishna. I think you're right, Krishna has played within himself this evening. Edu Garcia. Susiraj will be involved here. 50-50 the possession stat at the moment. That is more than wayward. Not a natural strike, I would have said there, from Michael Rudgin. Over an hour gone, 2-0, Bengaluru ahead. You know, funnily enough, ATK last season won only one of the last 6 games of the regular league season, and yet we all know what happened at the end. Well, the season before, they went on to win the title, 2017, was it?
Yeah, I think it's just had such a good start. I think they could afford that kind of a finish to the season, and as they say, it's not how you start in the league, it's how you finish. And ATK started with a loss to Kerala Blasters, but at the end of the season they are where they expect to be in the playoffs, and once you're in there,
it's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
Just need to have 2 very good games
over again. Yeah. Kima. Acres of ground with which to work. Nice slide rule ball here. Crowd enjoyed that. Are they going to enjoy the finish as well? Once again, Augustin getting himself involved, and again here now. Looks like Mongil makes sure it's not going to go out from for the corner kick, but Leon Augustin is very, very enthusiastic. We followed through a bit late there on Mongil. Mongil, the Spanish, doesn't complain, just gets up and walks away as though nothing's happened. The referee's had good control, the man from Singapore. He was a bit late following through there, wasn't he, on Mongil?
He's come up worse for wearing that challenge though.
Yeah.
Mongil got up, got on with it.
Pritam. Pritam's played every season of ISL, going right back to Pune City days. Delhi as well. Regis Susiraj. Slips past the first challenge, but then gives the ball straight away. Michael Regin. He's been busy though.
He's been busy, but a little bit disappointing with his final ball today.
Pritam Kotal's ball. Williams got a touch on it. Well, ATK are all over the opposition for the moment. They've got to do something with it, haven't they? It's the way you would hope Edu Garcia or Krishna can get involved. Shot flies high and just misses our cameraman at the back there from Susiraj. Disappointment for Krishna, shaking his head. It's not meant to be like this, is probably what he's thinking.
Yeah, we've seen Susiraj do this on a couple of occasions for Jamshedpur and on a couple of occasions early on this season for ATK, where he cuts inside and has the ability to bend one in at the far post.
2-0 it is. 20 minutes into the second half, and already Edu Garcia with all those touches. Yeah, he has come on with a purpose and a will.
Wouldn't be surprised, just looking at that body language of Roy Krishna, if Habas chooses to bring on either a Joby Justin or a Balwan. There you go, right on cue, Balwan Singh.
Yeah, there's Balwant, who has got a goal this season, the winner against North East. He'd welcome a run, I'm sure. Chance to show what he can do. Free kick against Cabra.
If not for much, he's just his physical presence, and at this stage, little battles. If he starts rattling into Varan and Saran, maybe just gets them off their game a little bit. It could give you a little bit of advantages coming for the semi-finals when you don't want to risk Krishna in those battles.
Mongil, back by Edu Garcia. Get Edu Garcia, and he'll ask for the ball again. That's where he's so good. His movement, it takes him into positions where he can continue to play a part in a move. He just instinctively seems to know where to go. Routinely cleared, but it doesn't matter. There's a whistle against Krishna's involvement. Almost halfway through the second half, not much has happened in this half, in particular in terms of goal mouth action. The closest coming because the goalkeeper miscontrolled the ball.
It's a tight call there, but you can see, at least in terms of for the ATK fans and Habas and others, they'll be happy that the likes of Susiraj have come on and seeming to be a little bit more positive. Edu Garcia, as you mentioned earlier, has got a lot of touches on the ball, and these are players you'd expect to see in the semi-final first leg and featuring both the legs.
Salam's gone in for a bit of all-in wrestling here with Freighter, so he could be punished because this will be a free kick in a reasonably promising position. Looks like Nili will take it. Looks like Eric's about to get a run out. He's another one on 3 cards though. Now then, can Nili do what Dimas did? Goa, congratulations to them, as we've said so many times during the week, after the emphatic victory in the last game that they had. Never in doubt. And it will be Nili, and it is into the right sort of an area. It's put out for the corner kick. Johnson grimaces. He'll get up. He's a warrior. Decent delivery, wasn't it?
Decent delivery, and Saran's a handful from these set pieces, but he's a tough man to beat, John Johnson.
Yeah, so it will be Partaloo. Are you surprised by this? Another one on 3 cards.
Yeah, I am surprised. I think it just shows how much Carlos really wants to win this game.
Taking the place of Kima. With a big roar, he's a big hero here, the Australian. He's a big man all round, isn't he? Taken short. And it was Krishna who got the clearance. Well, Partaloo must have said, look, I'm fine with it, just put me on, let me get out there for 20 minutes and stretch the legs.
Yeah, and I think that's actually probably the most apt way that he is approaching this. Because as we said, they've just landed from Maldives, they wouldn't have had a training session, they probably won't train tomorrow, it'll just be a recovery session. and you wouldn't have much time to get a proper session in before that game.
Kotal's given the space and the opportunity to cross one in here, but it's going to be a throw-in right through a vacant zone.
So I think that's the best way. Just give Eric 20-30 minutes over here, just get him run his legs and prepare himself. And here's a surprise.
Yeah.
Salam Ranjan is coming off, so maybe a little change in the formation for both teams as well.
Yeah, Balwant coming on. Yeah, they'll have to change the formation really there, won't they? Balwant very much a striker, taking the place of a defender.
Well, I think maybe after that cross or attempted cross from Pritam Kotal, Habas has said, when you go back to the position you played most season as a right centre-back.
Crowd are roaring here. Freighter on the charge. When he sets off like that, he is quite an imposing figure. You're right, he was redundant for much of the first half and then suddenly came to life with a goal. He's given away a few free kicks in this half and he's just going to rap on his ankle for his trouble. Tall Jamaican. First time out of North America, North and Central America for him.
I'm sure he would have been glad to get away from those winters and come here. Pritam Kotal just slotting into the position where he's more familiar playing that we've seen him this season, and just on the right hand side of a back three.
Bengaluru are looking for this third goal, which would end the contest once and for all. And the very imposing figure of Eric Partaloo in the mix in there, but that's an absolute gift. And they have to start all over again.
I don't understand this. What? If it's a free kick in ATK's favour, why not just play the advantage?
Yeah,
they have the ball, play on.
That was a funny one. Harman Jot's arguing his case. No, anyway. Onwards with Regin and with Edu. And with Pritam. Pritam has been a part of the international scene for a while now. Came in for the World Cup qualifiers initially. And has generally held his place. He's 36 caps to his name now, Pritam Kotal. 90 minutes left in this one. The scoreline as it was at half-time. Seems a long time ago now since those goals. The first one struck by Dimas with his right boot from a direct free kick. The second from Freighter after a nice cutback from the debutant in ISL, Leon Augustin. The yellow card here. Some of them look, Partaloo and Johnson. Well, they are two players you would expect to be in just that sort of a situation, and Johnson looks a bit mystified as to why he's been carded with that. Wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, there's no complaints from Eric, so obviously not much in it. But another chance for Neely to show what he can do from a set piece.
Yeah, plenty of them in the minutes, and the header will carry it wide. The header from Serran. He has got one goal this season. Netted in the 2-0 victory over North East. Kotal. But 18 minutes remain. The game is still alive, and the ball isn't. Straight out of play. Balwant, a willing chaser for a while, but he knew he was involved in a losing cause.
It's one of those that Balwant's probably turning around and saying to Jayesh 5 years ago, and I've got that one.
I always get the feeling that this man hates losing, and yet tonight he might just be resigned to it being one of those nights where we were second best. Partaloo's first contribution really there with the header, and then Freighter tries to hold things up, and the move can continue. Mongil whacks it straight out of play.
But I think this could work to Habas's advantage, the fact that they haven't particularly played well and they're most likely going to lose this game. That it'll just, light a fire underneath them and make sure that they come out and perform in the semi-final, and they can't be complacent, because what it could if they had won with the lineup that he's put out today, there could have been a little bit of complacency in the first leg, and what will be a little bit concerning is they haven't managed to score, because coming into the semi-final, that away goal could be crucial.
Yeah, good point. Frater again didn't rebound for him favourably. Oh, that's a bit of a giveaway, and this might be goal number 3. Well, that's a real disappointment for Leon Augustin. He would have loved a debut goal, having set one up, and he had his chance there. Didn't quite hit it with the conviction you might have expected.
It's a poor giveaway, and probably could have tried to slip in Suresh, but you can't blame him in a game like this when you're 2-0 up. You're making your first team debut in the league. You've had an assist, and you think, hang on, if I get a goal here, maybe that's my name on this, at least in the 18 for the semi-finals.
I just wonder about how best with these team selections, with these matches to come. Edu Garcia only on the bench to start with tonight. He's had a really good ending to the season there. Williams has struggled really to recapture the form he showed prior to Christmas. And you are allowed only 5 foreigners on the pitch, of course. Johnson coming back adds to the confusion slightly, I suppose. Mongill can play midfield or centre-back, which he's done tonight. Krishna a definite starter. Partilou involved, and rides a challenge and keeps on going. Eric Partilou, driving run from him. Here is a chance, and well, the shot was hit.
Now that would have been a perfect way to cap it off for the youngster making his first start, Parag Srivastava today.
It would. I'm looking there at Parag in the shooting position. I was expecting it to be somebody like Nili.
Well, he did start his stint in Bengaluru as a striker, and then was later an attacking midfielder before they've converted him into a full-back position in the youth teams. And some people would argue, is that a penalty? But his hand's next to his body. You can't really ask for. Calm down, Carlos.
It's one of those that suddenly become a massive talking point in the game, isn't it? Unnatural position is what they refer to it as. You've got to have your arms by your side somehow.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't hide your hands behind your back and play the game. Yeah. So,
but you're right, it would have been a lovely moment for Parag, who was the B team player of the season last year at Bengaluru, getting his chance here this evening. Edu Garcia will look for a return pass, exactly what he gets, but it was too short. A lovely ball from Partilou. The flag stays down this time, and the pass is good. Nili pulls it, side netting. Good move, deserved a third goal.
Yeah, it was a great ball initially out from Eric Partilou to find Leon Augustin. And the young lad's done really well to just, wait, delay that, and perfectly laid on a plate for Nili. I think Nili could have probably hit this first time, someone with his ability. And I'm sure Suresh is not too happy with that. He was probably expecting the cutback. But at this point, everybody probably wants to get a goal.
Well, can ATK take advantage by getting a goal of their own here? Susi Raj loses out to Cabra. That's why Cabra's in the side.
And this is why I think Susi Raj walks himself out of the India squad, because of things like this. It's becoming a little bit too predictable. Every single time Susi Raj has got the ball, he's come inside in his right foot. If you're a defender now, you're almost expecting it now.
Another contribution here, a good one from Augustin, forces the error out of the player we thought might be on a yellow card earlier, Michael Regin. Eric Partilou there, helping out with the cramp situation. I think we've just seen him play probably the pass of the night.
Which one?
Partilou's pass.
Yeah, Partilou and Leon's pass into Nili.
Yeah. This is the Dimas Delgado strike. As I say, it seemed a long time ago now, that, in the first half. Goal number 2 from Frater. Goal number 1 for the budding cricketer.
It's almost like a two-handed Carlos Quadrat celebration.
Well, Dimas can afford to sit out the rest of the night now. 12 minutes to go. Sunil Chetri also with unusual shots for them, of course. We were usually used to seeing Chetri on the field of play. The wives of the Spanish players here enjoying their time in India.
I'm sure Danta's looking on a bit nervously with the way Leon Augustine's playing. Now, this man's been a real huge contribution. He's missed the first couple of games of the season, and I think when he came back in, you realise what the team was missing. Not just his threat from set pieces with his goal scoring abilities, but the way he can set his teammates up. He's not just a defensive midfielder who's out there as a sort of destroyer. He really contributes, and some of those long diagonals that he played to Sunil, a key player for them, especially in the AFC Cup. Against I think he's going to have a big role to play against Mazia, which, and I was alluding to earlier, they're a tougher team than a lot of people expect, and what people don't realise sometimes is in the AFC Cup competition, the travels that you have to make is what makes those games difficult. I mean, you see, they beat a team like Paro 9-1 at home, but away they could only win 1-0 because the travel to a place like Bhutan to play at that altitude, and then you go to the Maldives and play in that high humidity, and not easy games.
Well, they've got to overcome a deficit on Wednesday, 2-1 down from the first leg. Back to this one on Jai Sharani. Shows his artistry with a flick of the boot here as well. This will be just kept in play. Balwant trying to make an impression since his arrival a few minutes ago. There are some big imposing players now. You just got a close up of Freighter there. We've been looking at Partaloo, and they are very dominant figures on a football pitch. 10 to go. Bengaluru still leading by these two first half strikes. And Partaloo, well, they both missed out there. Freighter, he was pulled back, worked hard for that. Johnson, of course, already booked. Has to be careful on his first start. Another one feeling his way back in. They always talk about that, and people like us think, oh, why aren't they fit? Because they train and practice fit. There is such a thing as match fitness.
Absolutely, and I think that's where having, next season we'll have a longer league, and you'll see it where players will need games. Here we don't sometimes get the opportunity to have games in between the two fixtures in the league.
Sorry to get a booking for that. Rani. Chashwani has been around in the league for quite some time. A pullback from Edu Garcia. Saurish yellow there confirmed. This is Williams. He's had no chances at all, has he, in the second half? Even though ATK seem to have had more of the ball, and that's a giveaway to somebody like Partaloo, who will play a piercing sort of a pass, which well intercepted by Johnson, coming back to the fore. Then Krishna has been very quiet in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Williams, I told you, he wants to get shots in. It's onto the running track. A measured ball from Krishna, and Williams, it's slewed away off the outside of the right boot. 8 minutes to go, and Bengaluru on the verge of picking up 3 points. To just enhance their position. How many fouls has he committed tonight?
No complaints from the Bengaluru players, but Regin must have had about 6 or 7 fouls, and that's right in front of the referee. How that isn't a booking, I'm lost for words.
Again driven straight at the defender. No way in either for Nili. He tries to win it back here. There's Freighter. Twisting, turning, but unsuccessfully. Well, they are being hounded here, ATK, as Edu Garcia finally gets it away. And then that's better, and Balwant on a charge here. We'll hope to play a 1-2, might get in. Final ball lacking once again, and Partaloo drives Bengaluru out to safety. Better though from Balwant. Parag worked hard in the second half. I've seen more of him in the second than we probably did in the first. That was Balwant involved, but it's just all broken down at the last moment. There's been no way through for ATK at all tonight against this sterling defence of Bengaluru. We know how mean they are. That's why they've kept so many clean sheets this season. The record.
Now then you can see the difference in a player that Wanan is missing in the game against Kerala Blasters, and you look at the difference there when he comes in, and just that composure and the leadership that he brings at the back.
Mongil away. Good win of the ball from Partaloo. Is there a third goal on the night here for the home side? That's through a gap. The red shirts are all massing coming back in here, and they're under duress once again, but finally will be away from Wanan and from Johnson.
That's calm and composed from Jono out the back.
Edgar Garcia wants a return pass and gets it. Look, that's a lovely move. He deserves a goal for this. That is a super goal. Absolutely super goal, and it brings a bit of life into the contest with 5 to go. But that was made and finished by one man called Edgar Garcia. Lovely, lovely goal.
He said he'd love to come on and score against his old team, and this is a fantastic goal. I mean, we've seen this time and again, his link-up play with Roy Krishna. This time it's Krishna and Williams, and what a fantastic strike. And there's nothing the keeper's going to do about this. I don't even think Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is going to save this one. It's a fantastic strike into the side netting. Now, how many times have we seen it? This man comes off of the bench and time and again scores it.
First time ATK have ever scored a goal here in the Sri Kantirava Stadium. What a time to get it as well. It gives us a grandstand finish, though. There's going to be a free kick against Mongil here for the home side. In response, quick response. But we're just sort of catching our breath again. It was such a beautifully created goal, but you knew all the way along what Edgar Garcia had in his mind. This is why there's a free kick at this end of the ground now, however, for Bengaluru to try and re-establish a 2-goal cushion.
By my count, I think that's about the 6th foul now that Michael Regins...
At least. We're not seeking to get him cautioned, we're just tallying it up and letting you know what the statistic is. Partaloo, and we'll be waiting. Wanan will be delivering, I think. Partaloo makes a run inside the area. Oh dear, that's a wretched delivery. So they still have to see out the last 3 minutes here, the home side. Edo Garcia's 5th of the season. His last goal coming in the game against Jamshedpur. He's actually scored 10 times in ISL now. And crowd roaring here again. They're right behind this one, and I think that's just taken a tickle off Johnson, has it? Did it catch Johnson on the way out from Nilly? I think it did. Work for the young man, the young goalkeeper, Diraj Still. This is Nilly. When he's got the ball on his right foot, it certainly took quite a heavy deflection off Johnson. So they're looking to cement it, their success here, with 2 to go. Nilly to take the corner kick. Is there a big man in there? Keeper's there with a fist. Chance of a breakout. Well, if they get a draw out of this, it would be quite remarkable, because they've been behind all night, really, of ATK. But yet they have a chance of getting a point. Wouldn't make much difference, of course. It would put them onto 34 and Bengaluru onto 30. But good for their morale. Referee says play on here, and that's exactly what they do. The break is through the middle. And then it is Freighter. He'll want it on his left foot. And he stumbles on, and it's a stumbling effort at the end of the day from Freighter.
Well, it wouldn't make a difference to ATK if they get the equaliser, but what it could do is, if Chennai win that last game against North East, it could affect the matchups for the semi-finals.
Yeah, Jashrani, and free kick here for ATK. We're not quite up to the 90-minute mark yet, and Juanan could be punished. Abbas is still keen, isn't he? Still wants his side get something out of this night in Bengaluru. Juanan's foul gives them one last opportunity, maybe. Johnson's going to be up there. What a story that would be if on his first appearance of the night he were to score. Taken quickly. Here is the chance. Deflected up and in. It's gone in. ATK have got that goal. Quite extraordinary. Wowee, Susiraj, who got goals last year for Jamshedpur against this very same opposition, has registered here with the aid of a big deflection. I think he checked inside and it loops up over the goalkeeper, and Prabhab Sukhan can do nothing about it. I think it did take a deflection, probably off camera actually, and Habas is celebrating like he's just won the title. Well, this might change things around. It was 2-0 only about 5 minutes ago, and the ball there, Susiraj here has maybe dragged a point out of this for ATK. Still arguments going on the touchline, but it's 2-2 in Bengaluru. Well, you're getting a close-up there of young Gusimrat. But Susiraj, I'm sure, will want to claim it.
Well, you can see there's still life in this contest. There's still some animosity between the benches. And there's Sunil Chhetri just doing the maths, saying, well, now if Chennai win, that means we're down to 4th place. And we'll have to play our favourites, FC Goa.
Yeah, reminded, of course, Chennai can get on to 31 points if they win their final game at North East on the 25th. As things stand at the minute, Bengaluru are going to be on 3rd. Here it is again. He checks inside, and it does just come off Gusiraj, but it's going to be claimed by Susiraj.
Absolutely, and what a fitting way for ATK to get back into the game. They have never come back from 2 goals down, and to not beat, but at least get back at BFC at their own game. It was a clever free kick, quickly taken free kick, something from the training ground. We talked about Susiraj cutting inside onto his right all night, and now he finally chops back onto his left with the aid of a deflection, but, you know, they all count.
It just shows, doesn't it? You never know what to expect in this game. But we might expect a winner from Bengaluru now. That's what they're praying for here. And deep ball in. It's just going to elude Partilu on the way back, but they're still all forward here. A spinning one. This might not go out. What a dramatic finale. The game seemed to be on a sort of a treadmill at slow pace for most of the second half, really. Not a lot happening. He's shaking his head, is Dimas Delgado. Have they really thrown this one away? Most extra. Edu Garcia was the one who breathed life into the contact. He showed that there was still life left in ATK with that superbly constructed goal. But then to get the equaliser like that from Susiraj, quite remarkable.
No, and credit to Habas. He's made a couple of changes. He's brought on Edu Garcia, he brought on Susiraj, and both of them have scored. Edu Garcia, matter of fact, scored and assisted.
Well, they're looking to win it now. Well, we know how many times substitutes have scored for ATK this season.
There's a 3rd substitute, Balwant, almost setting up the winner.
Yeah, 9 times substitutes have scored for ATK.
think that's been one of the highlights of the season, where you just cannot take your eyes off the game in the last 15 minutes. You think, the game's petering out, players are tired, and then all of a sudden substitutes come on and just change the game. And I think that's the advantage of some of these, especially the top teams, the likes of Bengaluru and ATK and Chennaians and FC Goa, the strength and depth that they have, that the players who come off the bench can really make a difference in the latter stages of games when there's a little bit more space and some tired legs.
All attributing to a record number of goals in ISL history.
And we've still got a game to play.
Well, surely back from Vanham this time. And sure-footed, the goalkeeper knocks it away. Well, it's finished all square, and I never dreamt in a million years I'd be saying that about 10 minutes ago. But Edu Garcia with a delightful goal brought ATK back into the contest, and then in time added on, we got an equaliser from Susi Raj. Edu Garcia, the hero of the match, despite the fact he's only played in the second half of it. Handshakes between the two Spanish coaches, Havas and Quadrat, but the full-time score here, it's ended at Bengaluru 2, ATK 2. Dimas with a free kick, and Freighter in the first half seemed to have done enough to establish a Bengaluru three-pointer. But then those two late strikes on 86 and 90 from Edu Garcia and Susi have won ATK their first ever point in this stadium. Final score, Bengaluru 2, ATK 2.